When we look at separations, we want to look at two kinds of separations. Separations that happen out of anger, frustration, and pain, and separations that happen out of the end of love. And we want to focus here on separations that happen out of anger and pain, which represent most separations. It happens less that partners just meet and say, okay, we have fallen out of love with each other and this is why we're separating. In most cases, separations carry on a deep feeling of resentment and anger and unmet expectations towards the other person. When we look at separation, it's we first of all look at it from a more historical perspective. Usually we would say a separation happens when one of the partners, for example, moves out. But separation actually happens much earlier in the relationship, when we start noticing, or when we stop talking to each other, when we stop sharing, when we stop sharing intimacy, when we start blaming each other, and when a certain kind of connection that actually is a nourishing connection is lost, and we feel a certain distance, growing distance to our partners. When we cannot bridge this distance and stay essentially alone in the relationship, at a certain point of time, one of the partners will feel such an extent of stuckness or loneliness inside the relationship. What oftentimes hurts most when we look at a relationship that has failed or that didn't work out is the compromises that we feel that we went through, the boundaries that we allowed our partners to cross. Here we can see that it is our own ability to communicate, express, take care of our boundaries. It is our ability that actually defines the quality and depth of the relationship that we can maintain. So essentially what is important in order to move through a relationship is to acknowledge, one, what we have been allowed to give to somebody else and what we have received, and also to acknowledge our part of the responsibility for the parts in the relationship that didn't work out.